And the first thing I'm gonna say about this is I need Benny the Butcher on the remix to this. So I'm sitting here getting ready to set up, and I'm thinking about, what I want to say and how I want to say it. And I was thinking about making a comparison, comparing Nas to somebody in the sports world. And I was sitting here thinking, who could I compare him to? Muhammad Ali, Michael Jordan, Tom Brady. But then I thought, nah, because I don't think you're going to talk to a lot of people and have them tell you that Nas is the greatest of all time. He'll definitely be in your top 5, but very rarely they'll put him at the top spot or even number 2. So he's not Ali, not Jordan, not Brady. I got to thinking, Nas is the rap game's Chris Paul. Still doing his thing in the league despite his age, and still doing it at a high level, and for all intents and purposes shouldn't be doing it at as high a level as they're doing it, but nonetheless they're doing that shit. So I also got to thinking, if Nas is Chris Paul, then that's got to mean Hit Boy is Devin Booker. A veteran in the game, but still young, but entering or already in their prime. Nas and Hit Boy got a crazy chemistry, just like Devin Booker and Chris Paul. It was there on the first King's Disease, definitely there on the second King's Disease. Stay tuned for the rest of the video to see if that chemistry is there in their latest project, Magic. So what I'm gonna do for this little review is I'm gonna go through all 9 songs and just pick out my favorite bars, some of my favorite moments for them. And we're gonna start out, of course, with the first track called Speechless. And boy, did Hit Boy set the table for Nas to put on a rap clinic. He starts off right away talking about how he's 21 years past the 27 club. And then later in that same verse, he says, only thing undefeated is time. The second is the internet. Number 3 is this rhyme, which is just some classic Nas shit. And just when you think it can't get more ridiculous, Nas starts the second verse by saying, pick a down on his luck rapper, bet he broke with the arrogance of a crackhead mad at a weed smoker, or hate a pill taker who hate a distilled wine drinker, a killer who use a gun to hate on a knife swinger. Like, that's just a crazy way to say, you're not perfect. We all do the same shit, just in different ways. This beat is grimy with a hint of West Coast. It's ironic that this song is called Speechless, because I could talk about this shit for days. The second track is called Meet Joe Black, and I actually had to look up what that was. And apparently it's a movie that's got Brad Pitt, who else? Brad Pitt, Anthony Hopkins in it. And it says here on Google that it's about a rich man trying to negotiate the terms of his own death. So, going into it, looking that up, I was hyped to, for what it could be. And this shit was a head rocker. Nas is in his very aggressive bag, telling you about rappers being out of shape and not being able to box with him, before transitioning into maybe my favorite hook on this entire album.
Run me the keys, run me the bees, run me the flow back. What I'm saying, top 3, I'm not number 1, how can you post that? I want the crowd to say it's fine, how can I hope that? I'm not the one to go back, you fuck around me, Joe Black.
I did feel some type of way when he said top 3, not number 1, how could you post that? Because I just uploaded my albums of the year and I had him at number 8. So if he feels some type of way about being at number 3, I don't know. I don't want to know how he feels about being at number 8. Third track is called Ugly, and I don't really think it's a stretch to say that the world that we live in today is ugly as hell. You know what I mean? And it gets uglier with each passing day. And Nas seems to agree with that sentiment. He goes off for over 3 minutes about just how ugly the world is, but he does it in an ironically very beautiful way, spinning ugly Christmas sweater parties into a commentary on corporate America and how they profit off of black trauma, before making comparisons to Shanae and Wanda from the Martin Lawrence show. I'm only briefly touching on some of the heavy topics that are explored in this track, but definitely go out of your way to check this one out. The fourth track is called 46 Team Building, and the first thing I'm gonna say about this is I need Benny the Butcher on the remix to this ASAP. This beat sounds like it's something that could have easily been on The Burden of Proof, and oh my god, do I need Benny on this shit. Nas is just spazzing on this shit, and it's not just ignorant shit like when he says in a new gray Mercedes, waterproof Jordan Laney's. No, he's talking about heavy shit in this as well, like when he starts the second verse out by saying, take my quotes, I'm here to give hope. Start a company from one of my phrases. We in the age of letting dumb shit kill your kingdom. Body bags for no reason. Young shit, blunts lit, slurring off the Seagrams, hell with it. Like that, just those 4 bars right there are so telling of the things that he's seen growing up and the things that he's seen around him, and sadly that's the reality for a lot of people. Also, if you're wondering why you haven't seen Nas out and about lately, it's because
I'm in the studio lately.
5th track is called Hollywood Gangsta, and this is probably the most laid-back joint on this whole album. It's something you put on in the whip, light something up, and just cruise to. Of course, Nas is rhyming his ass off, just like every song Nas has ever been on since the beginning of time. Speaking on ego and people portraying a gangsta image just for the cameras while claiming he's the exact opposite of that. He claims he's smooth, not spreading fear, and that's evident in this laid-back, nonchalant flow over this simple boom bap beat. It's the perfect formula for this song and exactly what this album needed 5 songs in. Number 6, Woo is for the Children, and I would describe this track as soulful, simplistic, and captivating. For over 3 minutes, I hung on Nas's every single word, touching on friends making excuses in life and how you gotta be special to understand what he writes and understand his life. He also touches on lifelong fans of his that won't let him evolve and they want him to go back to his old flow. But as his lifelong rival Jay-Z would say,
niggas want my old shit, buy my old album.
By far, the most noteworthy line on this song, and maybe on this whole album, is when he brings to light that he had the opportunity to be on the remix of Gimme the Loot by Biggie, and also how he feels about Kendrick, Cole, and Drake, saying that they're the modern day him, Nas, and Big. No pun intended, but that's big praise. Track number 7 is called Wave Gods, featuring DJ Premier and A$AP Rocky, who admittedly I'm not a big fan of, but he more than holds his own on this one. I really think Hit Boy, Nas, and DJ Premier brought out the best of them. He actually has my favorite bar on this entire song, saying 12 shells in the gauge like a carton of eggs. That shit was hard. The whole thing is hard and it's so New York, and I loved it. Track number 8 is called Truth, and newsflash, spoiler alert, this Nas guy is pretty good at this rapping thing. Usually I would pull some lyrics to show off the highlights of this song, the best lyrics, my favorite lyrics, but I would literally then just pull up the entire song, the entire lyrics of this whole song. That's how good this shit was. The pockets that Nas finds over these Hit Boy beats are otherworldly. The confidence Nas has rhyming each and every word is top tier. You can tell he's a master of his craft. You rappers better start telling the truth, bro, or Nas gonna come like the boogeyman and put everybody out their misery. 9th and final track is called Dedicate, and Hit Boy, like this whole album, sets the table perfectly. This time for Nas to just reminisce and you know, talk about how much dedication it took for him to get to this point in his career today. 30 plus years in the rap game, it's hard to argue with that dedication. And usually after that much time in any game, really, your skills, you would think your skills would start to diminish. Not Nas. Honestly, on this whole album, but this song in particular, Nas sounds, in my opinion, better than he ever has. And that's not me trying to be hyperbolic. That's truly how I feel. In the first half of the song, Nas has lines like, look what it took for me, the streets had its hooks in me, yeah, people ask what books to read, destruction of black civilization, that's history, Journal of Chris Columbus, that's what interests me. Juneteenth holiday finally came and it pisses me off for the fact that we came in chains, you'll be physically in pain. That right there to finish off that second verse is loaded, and it's classic Nas, bro, giving you substance in every bar. And then the beat completely switches to something a little grimier, a little darker, and Nas matches that aesthetic, matches that vibe, matches that griminess by rapping lines like, me and money go together like 80s and crack. Shorty aura like Kimura, rocking baby fat. I'm dropping bars, nigga, like I'm on stage with Smack. Bro, that's just so New York, so hip hop, so grimy, bro. I love this shit. And that was my breakdown of this magical album. And usually with Magic, bro, there'd be smoke and mirrors. There would be, you know, a sleight of hand. There'd be something to distract you from what's really going on. But in this case, what you see is what you get with this Magic. You know what I mean? It was just amazing to see Hit Boy and Nas have a crazy chemistry that very few you know, rap producer duos can even come close to. They also said in one of the tracks, I think it was Ugly, that KD3 is on the way. So they're already working on the third King's Disease. That's gonna be 4 projects in the span of less than 2 years that these two have put out. And 1 through 3 that they put out so far has been crazy. So I'm expecting nothing less from KD3. Top shelf in the dope scale, no doubt about it. At the time of recording this right now, I am 5 subscribers away from reaching my goal of 1,000 before the end of the year. So if you're watching this and you're not yet subscribed, I might already be over 1,000 by the time I upload this. But if you're watching this and you're not yet subscribed yet, be part of the 2 Dope gang, man. Just hit that red subscribe button down below, completely free. Let's run it up. Join the squad. But that's all I got for today's video. Leave a comment down below. Let me know what your favorite track from this album was. Talk to me. You know I talk back. I've been Timmy. Y'all been 2 Dope. Till next time.